Well, we don't hear yours, so I'm not sure.
I haven't started yet. I'm going to share it right now.
Turn your volume all the way down.
Okay, now we're
Whose do I hear?
What time is it?
hear it.
It's nooner time. Welcome to the Nooner Show with J-Dubs and Rocky.
Did she turn it down?
We're
And Nora and
broadcasting
Gina.
live from the Podcast Detroit
Gina and Nora.
studios in Rockton, Royal Oak, Michigan. Be sure to find us at PodcastDetroit.com.
What was I going to ask Dave?
It's nooner time.
Somebody bring me a mirror. Somebody bring me a tea. That's good. Somebody bring me a tea.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. Can I have my phone? I'm not going to turn it off.
She's going to lose her privileges.
Happy Hump Day.
Yes,
What
it
day
is.
is it?
Wednesday.
Check. What day is it?
What day is it? It is hump day.
Welcome back, Rocky.
Hi,
Thanks,
Rocky.
guys.
Hello. Good to see you.
Yeah.
We missed you.
I missed
We
you
did.
guys.
We
We
did.
missed you.
I
Yeah,
missed you
we need to
guys
get a
for
copy
sure.
of the schedule from now on before you
Yeah.
go anywhere.
I have one job on the show, and that is just to make sure they
And
say
that
the
was the
right
one
things
job we didn't know what to
at
do.
the
It's
right
like-
time.
Okay, so
But-
they left. I meant to find out if they downloaded Center of Gravity.
We'll
so make
find
sure.
out,
Oh,
I guess.
yeah.
Anyway,
Find
so
out.
last night we had hyped up live sessions with
Yeah.
Thornetta Davis
Oh
and the
my
I
God.
was
Thornetta Davis
so
band.
bummed I couldn't be there.
I
She's
watched. There
so
was
amazing.
Nora had a watch party. I watched.
Oh, it was
She
so,
was incredible.
It
Oh.
was unbelievable.
She
We
is
had a standing
amazing.
ovation.
I'm not
Like
surprised.
our first one ever.
I'm
Yeah.
literally not surprised. She's so
Gosh.
good.
and we didn't
Yeah.
want her to stop. We were like, encore,
Yeah.
one
and
more.
the band,
one more.
oh my God, her band.
Band was.
I've seen her play a couple of times, and
Woo.
I bought her CD, and I'm like hardcore fangirl.
Yeah.
Nora Davis for
Yeah.
sure.
She
She's
is.
amazing.
Yep.
And then after the show, the interview, incredible interview.
She's a
Woo.
sweetheart.
Good job.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
looked amazing.
Ah,
Yeah,
shucks.
she couldn't-
Now
she
I'm actually
couldn't
going to
see
go
me.
look
She
at
looked
it.
amazing.
She did. She looked
She
great.
couldn't see
I
me.
didn't watch it because I was at work, but
She looked amazing.
She
Local
came home
screams
and
in
I
the
was like,
house. Hi, guys.
hey,
just
look,
got a
it's
text.
great.
Hey guys.
Yep.
Yeah, so you came home yesterday. I was like,
Yeah,
Sexy.
so I came home
Sexy.
yesterday ready to pass out, and John Paul turned 21.
How did
and
that
they-
happen?
Yeah, they were all standing there with their coats. They're like, he wants to go to the bar. It's
like, don't
11
take your coat
o'clock.
off.
I'm like, no, we're
Yeah.
not going to the bar. I'm like, John Paul, drink here, okay? You're
like a
21.
normal
Yeah,
freaking
just
person.
drink.
Okay,
We're not going out.
God,
He goes,
go out and
no,
talk
I
to
want
people.
somebody to card me. I'm like, I'll card you right now.
I understand what he wanted.
I
because
don't.
So
when
we
I was
did.
21, I was like, yeah, I'm going to the bar, and nobody heard
Well,
me.
you don't because you're in bed by 9:15.
I know.
Right.
And I have
Not
been
last
since I was
night.
So you don't
7.
understand.
Yeah, so
We
We
all
are-
went to the bar.
Yeah.
yeah. We did. Yep.
Yeah, we
I
sure
I was
did.
like,
Did
I was
you
the
have-
DD.
Were you the only ones
I
in
was
there?
going to say you
I was
had
the
to get
DD.
out of your pajamas.
Oh no, I didn't get out of my pajamas. Are you crazy? We were going into Lapeer. Are you kidding me? Like that is the one beautiful thing about my hometown is that I can wear my pajamas everywhere and don't care about the judgment.
Very
We had
fun.
fun. Yeah, it was fun.
Oh, wow. That's
So
funny.
tomorrow is Rocky's birthday.
Oh, exciting.
This is our first year
your
we didn't
Rocky.
do duo birthdays. John Paul and I
Yeah.
always celebrate our birthdays
Well,
together.
because his was a milestone, 21.
I really just thought it was because I gained importance this year, but it's
You did.
my song was in a movie. I thought that meant
Yes.
something, but apparently no.
It did.
No,
It
no.
meant a lot.
Well, it does in some counts, but not
Thank
on
you.
this.
Yeah, not on this. But no, he's actually going to sit in with me tomorrow. So I'm playing the Willis Show bar tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Which is really fun.
Woo,
Yeah,
Very
so I'm really
exciting.
excited.
I got my
love
tickets,
playing
bought
there.
in
we
advance.
got our tickets. So
It's going to sell out.
What time?
Excited.
us
The first show's at 8. The second show's at 10.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yes, I'm excited. But John Paul's gonna be sitting in. He's doing a couple songs in each
That's
set.
cool. They're
so.
going to let him in because he's
John
21
Paul sitting in?
now.
I know.
Oh,
Yeah, he
nice.
is sitting in. So.
And it's
it's
with
not just
it's
my
with
birthday.
your band, not the house band.
Yep, it's with my band, so we're actually
Okay.
prepared. I'm very excited.
So do we get to hear Center of Gravity?
Yes, we will play Center
Oh,
of Gravity.
yay.
Okay,
So,
cool. Now, will
yeah.
Frankie be there or no?
No, Frankie's not gonna be there.
Okay. Okay.
I'm sure he's got to work. So.
Yeah. That's going to be exciting.
Yeah, it'll be fun. So it's gonna be a good show.
And I heard they're going to have food there tomorrow too.
I heard that too. Yeah,
Yeah.
that they have a pop-up chef coming.
Yeah.
So that's really exciting. Yeah.
So this is
Very
the first.
nice.
They don't have food.
No.
there?
I've done another one of their pop-ups before.
Mm-hmm.
So their pop-ups are really cool.
Who's the
but
special guest?
I can't tell you.
You can't.
We're on
Can you
Facebook
whisper?
Live.
Can
Do
you
we
come
not
over
have
here
a
and
special guest? Somebody said there was a special guest.
Can you come over
No?
here and
I think
whisper
I
in
already.
my ear?
No, I think John Paul, him sitting in, was like my.
Oh, that was your special guest. That's it.
That's it.
That's what we paid $5 for.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, come on.
You paid for her. John Paul was
John
free.
Paul just texted me. He goes sitting in. He goes, "It's my show now."
Oh, hi, John Paul.
Hi, honey. Hi,
Hey,
John Paul.
Do you have a hangover?
We have a new drink for you, John Paul, now
Oh,
that
yeah.
you're 21.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
We're going to tell you about that later. So anyway, tomorrow is the big night.
Yeah,
That's gonna
I'm
be a
really
lot of fun.
excited. It will be fun.
Yeah, I can't wait. And congratulations again with Arctic Dogs.
Thanks.
That's so cool.
Thanks.
Do you
Okay.
feel like you're living in Arctic dogs?
A little bit. It's kind of cold as hell out right now.
No, it's not as bad as it was. So.
Yeah, no.
Today's
I
warm.
I left. I didn't get any snow.
You got lucky.
I know. And then it snowed a little bit when I was in Nashville, but I didn't really care because it was just like hardly anything.
Yeah.
But down there, they shut down everything.
I was
yeah.
gonna say everything was
Everything was shut down.
Yeah, you got to
So,
get changed for your wheels and all of
Yeah.
that.
it was
Have
really
you gone
funny.
to see the movie more? I know you saw it in New York and then you saw it with us. Did you go see it again?
No, I've not gone to
No?
see it again.
Do you want to?
I might one more time before Lee
Yeah.
Theaters, but I don't know. I've just been so busy lately with everything
Yeah.
else that it's
Yeah.
like I can't
Yeah.
even. Like
I'd
we're
like
already
to go see it one more
we're
time.
already on to the next thing.
Yeah,
So it's
project.
like
Yeah, I mean, that's good that you're not just sitting there watching that over and over. Look, there's my name.
I know.
There's my name.
no. What I do is
there's my
I buy
name.
the ticket, I go see a different movie, and then I come
Then you
back
go
for the
come
last
back
5
for-
minutes
yeah.
of the
Okay.
movie. So it's
It was a cute movie, though.
Yeah, it is. It was
mean,
super cute.
I
It's
still
very
haven't seen
cute.
it yet. I just,
What?
Yeah, you know,
Wow.
you know. I
Love
mean,
me
you
at
understand. I
all.
had a little setback, but
Yeah,
I
you
have
did.
to
You
see
did.
it.
Okay.
I'm gonna see
Yeah.
it. I
Okay.
am.
Anyway. All
And then
right.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
go.
Where's our?
I know that's Rocky. That's what I gotta do.
Okay. Where? Dave and Jess. Hello.
I'll just do
Everybody
it.
left her.
All right.
Yeah.
No.
Get ready.
Can see Rocky.
I'm on my way.
Get
You're the only
ready,
one that
can
can
see
think. Can you go get him? Can you go get him?
Yes, ma'am.
I think they
Uh-oh.
think that we're
Yes,
so
ma'am.
sufficient here that
That we
can
don't need 'em.
do this ourselves.
We
No.
need you.
What are you
we
doing? Don't start
need-
messing around with that.
Uh-oh.
Come on. We have an important day. We have
Uh-oh.
shots to take. Hurry up. Go get
Shot,
them.
shot.
Yeah, don't touch it. Oh, gosh. So let's see. Mark from Local Scream. Mark, you guys are going to want to have this guest on your show. He's going, yeah.
He's like, yeah, maybe.
No,
Maybe not.
no. Are you kidding? Those guys love to party.
Oh,
Ooh.
I like partying.
Oh, yeah. Actually, they
Actually, what are you
will.
thinking?
Well, because
What is your little mind thinking,
Denny,
Jackie?
who is one of the DJs, is also a distributor. I don't know for who, but he
Uh-oh.
is.
You don't know
he's
for who.
he's going to answer. Are they coming?
I think so.
Well, what do you
Maybe.
mean you think so? Did
Maybe,
you tell him?
maybe not.
Huh?
I didn't tell him.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, let's get on with it then.
Without our music,
Yeah.
I'll just do it really
Well, we
quick.
don't have all day.
Yeah, we don't have all
Get
day.
ready, 'cause here I come. All right, guys, you are listening to The Nooner Show. We appreciate your support. We hope you get inspired to take a leap of faith. Don't forget to subscribe to The Nooner Show wherever you listen to podcasts. You can like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram at The Nooner Show. Our show today is sponsored by The Parlor in Hadley, Michigan, a music-themed pizzeria where pizza rocks. Also, check out Happy Days Records and more, a new music store and clothing store, and so much more located at 1801 West Genesee Street in Lapeer, Michigan. And from the makers of Dope Water, if you can be anything, why not be dope?
That's right.
Okay. Are we?
Yeah, just
Okay.
That's all right. Go
Little
ahead.
technical difficulty today.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm going to read it. This segment is designed to showcase the stories of talented individuals who had a wish and found a way to make it happen. They set goals, overcame obstacles, and turned setbacks into comebacks. Their stories are unique, interesting, and most of all, inspiring.
It is said in Mexican folklore that the hummingbird, a gorgeous symbol of positive energy, strength, and courage, is also said that if the hummingbird flies your way, you can trust that something extraordinary will happen. Our guest today, Don Ferguson, had something extraordinary happen when he created Teak Tequila along with his wife, Niana, thank you. Niana, who's not with us today, but we wanted to say hello to her. This new Michigan company is taking spirits over by storm. It began as a casual couch conversation and ended up turning an idea into the smoothest Blanco tequila on the planet. They've also created the world's only coconut lime Blanco tequila. Teak is now in over 275 Michigan stores, and they're planning on expanding nationally. Every aspect of the development of this Teak tequila is intentional. It represents their core values of the finest elements, from the hummingbird logo to which is their stamped signature mantra, which is create your legacy, and it's on the back of every bottle. Please help us welcome Don Ferguson as he shares how to change your mind, change your world, and create your legacy.
Oh, I like
Yeah.
that.
Thank you.
Love it.
Thank you so much. That was one of the best openings ever.
Wow.
And the other thing is, you read part of the hummingbird story, and
Yeah.
a little fact behind that. You can view the whole story on teakspirits.com, our website.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
But I wrote it.
Oh,
So this isn't
Wow.
anything. Yeah, I wrote it. I try to fancy myself as somewhat of a writer. Not really, but I try. And I wrote it. I wanted it to capture the essence of what we're trying to do, and then draw it back in to explain the significance of the hummingbird logo. And the hummingbird has just always resonated with me. To that point, flying by your head, I've actually had it happen several times now in my life.
Oh, wow.
I was up north in Charlevoix, and I heard like a loud buzzing. This was years ago, and I looked up, and there was a hummingbird just staring at me.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah,
Your spirit animal.
Yeah.
Well, it is, and so years later, decades later, really, creating this tequila company, it was, what do we want as a logo? Because you always want to have something powerful, something striking, and so when we looked at other tequila brands, they're all sugar skulls, something.
Yeah.
They're all pretty similar. And with that, it was, okay, so we have a third partner as well. Mike Rowalt is our third partner. He's a little bit more silent, more the business side, which you all need.
Yeah,
Trust me.
I was going to say you need
Yeah,
that.
you can't wear every hat in
Right.
business.
Right.
So, I didn't know if he'd go for it, but he did. He loved it. And so when Teak Tequila, it took 11 months to come to market. And we just happened to have a trip planned to Mexico. My wife and I, we went to Mexico, pick up the bottles the day before, and we're all excited.
wow.
It's like, wow, this is real now. But shit, we don't know what we're doing. But we're going on vacation. We'll figure it out when we get back. So we went to dinner, and up above us, there were two birds flying around. You want
Really?
to take a
Wow.
crack at it? What kind
Wow.
of birds?
Really?
Yeah.
Two of them?
Two of them in Mexico. And I said, this is a
Wow.
sign.
Yeah.
And so fast forward, with business, with being an entrepreneur, all of that, you go through a lot of ups and downs, a lot of stresses, a lot
Right.
of anxieties. And I was kind of feeling it, I think, maybe in around May. And, I asked the universe, show me a sign. Is this where I'm supposed to be? And the next day when I got up, I looked out my back window. I was up about 5 minutes. I haven't slept in 3 days, so I thought I was delusional. There was a hummingbird outside of my window.
That was your sign.
That's
And
crazy.
That is crazy.
I never saw one in my backyard. I have feeders and all this stuff. Like, I'm trying to really
bring 'em to you.
Attract the
yeah.
hummingbirds.
But I never saw one until I asked for a sign. And ever since that day, it was every week I saw a hummingbird in my backyard.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that's the
such a-
goosebump chills kind
Yeah.
of story that we have.
Have you seen one recently?
Well, they migrate for the winter. So the latest that I saw one was early September. And that was the last time. And then they typically go to South America or Mexico. So they're little wings that flap in an infinity design. The only bird that does that, so that's why they're unique too. They flew all, they're somewhere, but they're territorial.
Oh,
so that
I didn't know
means
that.
I'm more than likely,
Yeah,
I'm
to see.
going to see it again.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
And it was a female because it was like gray or a solid brown color. And the males are typically bright color because they're, they want to show off.
And they're in constant motion,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
correct?
Yes.
Like they're
Yeah.
never stopping. So
Yes.
you're much like a hummingbird.
Yeah, absolutely.
With how
Yeah.
quick,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
how quickly the company has
Yes.
expanded. and-
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge. When we were reading that, it was like, wait a minute, this
That-
just
right.
launched really 11 months ago, a year
Yeah.
ago, or whatever. I mean, and already 275 stores.
Well, so we need to make a correction.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So I have some good news. We're closer to 350 now.
Seriously?
So
Wow.
Good news is always good.
yeah, all these
Yeah.
locations.
It's crazy.
It's being on TV, doing podcasts, print media, and getting out there and hustling. I mean, that's the key thing about it is the work is not going to get done for you.
Right.
You
Right.
actually have to swallow your pride, swallow your ego. And like the first time I walked into a store, I didn't know what I was doing at all. I had no clue. And I walked into a store in Ypsilanti. I said, I have to sell this. I have to get it into stores. And the gentleman working the counter, he didn't want to try it, but he ordered a bottle and a bottle. And I walked out of there like it was my Rocky moment. It was a big victory for me.
yeah, well, sure.
It was.
And it was.
It was. I went from corporate America.
Right.
I was a divisional vice president for one of the largest financial institutions in the nation.
Wow.
And I
Wow.
was making amazing 6-figure salary,
Wow.
and I wasn't happy. I was working 16 hours a day, and at a drop of a hat, hey, you're moving to this division.
Right.
You're moving to this division.
And you
So
did that for how long?
I was there 11 years.
Oh, wow.
I was in senior leadership roughly about 4 years, my last 4 years. So I actually put in my 2 weeks notice the day after my 11-year anniversary.
Oh,
So
wow.
what made you what made you say, okay, I'm done? Did you have this idea already? or-
Yes.
Okay.
So we had the idea. I was doing another company at the time too called Teak Life, TEEQLIFE. And it was a social media micro-influencing platform. And I was just having fun with it, reviewing liquors, doing blogs, Facebook, all these different things. And I always wanted to create a tequila company. Yes.
Where's teak come from?
Teak is the couch conversations where we're just laying back, watching our favorite show, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
love that show.
And I said, hey, why doesn't anybody do this for the tequila industry? And my wife says, well, why don't you? And I'm like, oh, shit. Like, like that's where it always comes from, a strong woman. It's like, oh, she just challenged me. What am I going to do? So I got to
We're
rise
good
to
at giving
challenge.
you something to do. Aren't
Yeah.
we?
Oh, yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and I love that she said, why not?
Yeah.
Well, she
Right.
did,
Me too.
so it gets really, in depth now. So we're talking about it. It's not even happening. And she said, what would you call it? And I'm just saying tequila, teak. It rolls off the tongue. It's one word.
Right.
You
Great
want to
name.
remember like
Yeah.
Right.
Beyonce,
Yeah.
Prince, like
Rocky.
Rocky, absolutely. So,
Nora.
you want to remember, and it's memorable.
Right,
People are
right,
always going
right.
to remember a one name. So that was it. But really, it kind of came out of we wanted to do investing, and my wife used to be a financial planner, financial. She used to be a day trader. So we looked at stocks, bonds, mutual fund, but it's boring.
Yeah.
It's just boring, and then it becomes another job where you're managing that.
Right.
So she said, hey, if you could do anything, well, it would be own a tequila company. And I said, there's no way I could do that. And she said, why not? And I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
So I really wasn't bought in until it was a couple weeks later. I came home. I was feeling good. It was one of those good days in corporate America. And she didn't look so good. She looked sad. And I said, finally, wait a minute, what's going on? We're getting ready to go out to eat. And life is going to be good. We're going to be drinking tequila all weekend. It's going to be great. And she said, well, in 90 days, the financial part of the company is moving back to New Jersey, so I won't have a job.
Oh, wow.
And I said, well, I'm in senior leadership, so 90 days really means about 30. And that's what it was. It was about 30. And then at the same time, they were moving me yet again to another division. And so there was no consistency.
I can't.
Yeah.
As soon as you kind of get comfortable, and it's okay being uncomfortable, But as soon as you start to make some strides, you know,
They
like
move
a sports team, you can't bring in a coach year after year and
Right.
expect great results.
Right.
Sure.
So I told her, I go, I'm tired of people dictating our future. If we're going to do this as an investment while you're off work, let's figure out this tequila.
Wow.
I'm still not bought in.
Yeah.
But I'm open enough to give it a shot.
Yeah.
And she wasn't really off. And at that time, too, we were just getting married. So we had the
my
stresses of
God.
marriage. Yeah.
He left that part out.
Yeah. So,
Talk about a whole bunch of life changes all at
yeah.
once.
We had a lot going on.
Right.
So,
See, now I would have needed a dozen hummingbirds around me to do that side.
yeah.
Pecking at your head.
Go ahead, do it.
Listen. Yeah.
It was a lot going on. So she's losing her job. You know, we have a daughter. So there's just so much going on. But within 2 days, she found a distillery that we could potentially. She actually found 3.
Wow.
But the one of them was the one we settled to work with. You know, we wanted to work with them because they were fantastic. They won a lot of awards. So I'm still not bought in. So they sent us some sample bottles, you know, to try their base tequilas. And it was a horrible night of drinking about 20 different tequilas.
But it was on the job training.
It was a business, you know.
It was a business.
That's what you had to
Business
keep
development.
saying, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So it was me, my wife, and my business partner, and he really was never into tequila. He's more of a fine scotch, high-end wine type person. And we're sitting around, and it was, oh, shit, these are actually pretty good. Now what am I going to do? Because I really was banking on these aren't going to be good,
Yeah.
so I can just back out.
Well, wait. So let me ask you something. So when they sent you the samples, did you give them an idea of what you were looking for? Did you create the formula? How did that work?
So nothing. They were just giving us their base.
Oh, their
and
base.
then you go from there as far
Okay.
as what profile you want, you know, and different things like that.
But
so
how did you know that?
No, yeah.
You're not
What
a
kind-
chemist and you didn't come from that background.
No, I have no background except for the social media micro-influencing. So with that, I started to have brands send me a lot of products. So at one point in my personal bar, I had over 350 different liquors.
Wow.
Some of them I bought. Then it really started to expand, and I just started giving shit away. Like, you know, Happy Tuesday.
Yeah.
You know, here's a gift.
How do we get on that list?
It's nooner time.
Well, yeah. I think we're gonna
Yeah.
open up the list in a
we
minute. So when it came down to the bases, it was, this is something that I can work with. And you're right, I don't have any experience. I'm not a distiller. I'm not a chemist. I don't have any formal training other than I know what I like. And I know a lot of different tequilas, so I know what kind of profile I'm looking for.
So you
And
were a
that's how-
tequila drinker prior
Yes,
to.
yes.
So you kind of had a little
Yeah.
base.
Absolutely. At that point, like I think I was 10 years in the game of really only consuming tequila. You know, I would drink wine here and there and stuff like that, but like I was more focused on tequila. And then with tequila, when we started researching it, you know, finding out that it was low in sugar, my wife is a
Yeah.
14-year survivor of pancreatic cancer.
Right.
Oh,
We
wow.
heard
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So
Three times.
she's
right?
beat cancer 3 times.
Unbelievable.
Amazing. Congratulations to
Yes.
you, her, and
Yeah.
your family.
She actually, it was 14 years last week.
Wow.
So we
That's
celebrated.
a blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
With
what?
tequila.
We celebrated. Let's say it looked like this when I started, and then it disappeared. It was like David Copperfield.
So it was medicinal.
It was, you know, it was so many, you know, good things coming out, you know, and this life's journey and stuff. So, you know, yeah, I just knew what I was looking for. And then on top of it, this is one of the only spirits that she can really consume on a regular basis. Then doing more research, we found that tequila sales in the last 10 years have soared 700%.
Wow.
Really?
So it's the fastest growing market, fastest growing spirit sector. And that's why a lot of people are jumping on the bandwagon. But with that, it was, I got to do something different. Because if you do something that everybody else is doing, you're hustling on a crowded block.
Right.
So it's like, you know, even in the music industry, it's like
Right.
if you have the same sort of music,
Right.
how are you going to get noticed?
Yeah.
Right.
And that's
right.
kind of how, so my background was in music. I used to, back in the early
I read that.
2000s, I co-owned an independent record label here, and I
Wow.
worked
What-
with Eminem, D12.
What label was it?
Yeah.
It was called Real New Media. It was Real Entertainment before. We had, so I was in the studio a lot with Proof, Five Ella. I've been at video shoots with Eminem.
Wow.
So a studio with Josie, Kid Rock.
Wow.
Right
So
on.
it was like that. I look at everything now as the music industry.
Right.
That's just kind of how the business plays out. Is you're hustling a tape. You're hustling a CD. You're
Exactly.
trying to sell your CD.
Well, and you have to build the brand before you get the record deal.
Absolutely.
So
Right.
it's like you have to
Absolutely.
build the brand before you get shelf space.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So all of that was going into how am I going to make this different? And, the label, the story, the bottle itself. We talked to roughly, I think, 50
Yeah, I love the
bartenders. And this is actually one of the only bottles in the world that is round at the top, square at the bottom of this particular mold.
Really?
So
Wow.
this particular
Yeah.
mold right here is one of only, I think, maybe 2 in the world. Now, there's very similar bottles, but of this dimension, this is really one of the only ones. And what's great about it is it's easy to hold. You can hold it from the neck. You can hold it from the stem. It's square, so it sits really flat. It takes up a very little shelf space in
Yeah.
the store. So there's just a lot of like great things to it. The label is striking. It's very
Yeah,
different.
it's beautiful.
It is.
The
Rocky,
label-
hold that up.
The label is amazing. I love the
I do too.
simplicity of
And
it.
I
Yeah.
love the hummingbirds,
It's very
the different
clean.
colors. And
Very
yeah.
clean.
Yes.
Yeah.
And here's what I know about a little bit about labels. The label, you often see a label and you think, "Oh my God, that's a beautiful label, amazing label." And if the label is so detailed, like Rocky's cup, the contents aren't always.
Good.
I'm
But
a
you-
sucker
you-
for a clean label too.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
stand it
If
when
you're-
they're
A lot
like,
of-
oh,
a lot of
yeah,
stuff
I
going
like,
on.
To
Yeah.
me, this is just
So a simple,
stunning.
clean
Yeah.
label.
Right.
Usually means
Yeah.
what?
You, if it's like this, if this were wine
That's not
label,
clean label.
No, this is
Right.
not a clean label.
Right.
So if we had like this as a wine label, beautiful, people buy the label. They judge
Yeah,
the
'cause
book by
it's
the
really-
cover, and they're like,
uh-huh.
oh, but the contents
And then the wine is
not
yeah,
good.
is not good. So you see something
Yeah.
simple and clean, and it should. If you know the marketing,
Yeah.
that it typically means the contents
it's
is going
really
to be
good.
Right.
That's
quite
great.
spectacular.
Well, I wanna hear.
Yeah.
You went into the store. You took a couple, and the guy didn't really, but he took
Yeah, he
2
did
bottles,
taste it,
right?
yeah.
So did he call you back? Did you go back in? How did you?
I have
what happened with that?
I haven't gone back to the store. I don't think they've reordered. I went to another store right after that, and the
Okay.
same thing happened, 1 and 1.
Now, was it cold calling? Do you just walk
No.
in, or do you?
I just walked in.
You just walk in.
Yeah, I
Okay.
got a lot smarter since then, and learned to call ahead so that way you're not wasting gas. So
Right.
Yeah.
everything's a cost
Right.
when you're a
Right.
business.
Yeah.
Right,
When it's on
right.
your own dime,
Right.
you're driving around, you're wasting gas.
Right.
Did you
just-
get discouraged, like from the one store to the next store?
Yeah.
Just in that little amount of time.
There have been many points, and I think for any business owner, you have levels of ups and downs. You have discouraging times where you're anxious, and there was one day that I had planned to go out, and I think it was on the east side, and I went to 5 stores and got turned down all 5 stores, and I was discouraged,
Yeah.
very discouraged, and on my way home. My brain is always thinking. So I thought, well, wait a minute, there's that one store, it's in Royal Oak, and I, turned around and I went to that store. He bought 4 cases.
Oh, wow.
So,
So that just meant you needed to go to the 6th store.
right, right.
Yeah,
And so
right.
that's always been my mindset is one more.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
just try one more.
I like
Yeah,
that.
just
I
push
like
one
that.
more
Yeah.
time.
One more.
That's my signature.
Yeah.
That's
Just-
No, it is. It's something.
yeah, it is.
Is
One
it?
more time.
Mine
But it's
more.
not with cocktails.
Right.
You don't know that.
If you're at home.
My signature.
Yeah,
I want
you
it to
don't
be
know.
with cocktails. No. So
It
last
is.
year, my mantra was "Be comfortable being uncomfortable."
Yeah.
So I would sign my name and I would put that on there, and I wasn't doing it for anybody else other than for
Just for
myself,
you.
Right.
because
Yeah.
if I put it out there, then I had to try to live by it. And so this year it was try one more time.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's true, and so. We've had some success to where now I have a part-time salesperson
Wow,
on staff.
no
That's
kidding.
good.
Yeah, and I've had to teach her as well, and these lessons that I've learned is she went through the discouraging time, and
Yeah.
actually, I was conducting some business right before I came in here, and she goes, "I got to text you. I just sold 4 cases," and I'm like, "See,
Yeah.
Really?
So you got to keep pushing,
Yeah.
and." You're always going to get a lot of no's. I mean, that's just the nature of society. That's just how it is. Is like people always want to say no. It's a default almost.
Right.
And then as soon as you start to hear a yes or you say a yes, life opens up. It really changes.
Yeah.
But we're so, compartmentalized
Right.
to say no most of the time. And
Yeah.
I don't understand. So if I went back into corporate America, I don't know how I'd function because I understand true business now.
Right.
I look at it as, okay, let me not say no, but how can I adjust it to make it a yes? Because maybe
Right.
it's not a great idea. Maybe spending $1 million to, sponsor the Detroit Pistons.
Right.
Maybe that's not a great idea right now.
Right.
But what can we do that can incorporate the brands? How can we? And so it's not a bad idea. It just needs to be worked a little.
You
bit.
need a workaround.
Yeah,
Right.
Just
right.
wiggle it.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
a little
how long
workaround.
did it take after you guys decided to go ahead and move forward to come up with, what did you do? Did you put together like a vision board of what it should look like, what the label was going to be, the story behind it?
How the hummingbird was going to look on the label.
How long did that take? What was the process?
So my personality is very aggressive. I'm push, and I was still working at the time.
Oh,
So I was still
okay.
working about 13 hours a day, your drive time. So, it was me and my business partner, Mike, and wifey was putting together all the behind the scenes stuff, the logistics, the operational side. So the bottle, he kind of, took the label. I said, this is kind of what I want. And we ran with, and I love working with entrepreneurs. I love supporting their businesses, especially as an early startup.
Yeah.
And so we got with somebody and said, this is our vision. What can you do? And, so we told him about the hummingbird. We told him, what we wanted. And she actually kind of came up with the label design along with my business partner. So when I first saw it, it took roughly about a month.
Okay.
It took roughly about a month to come up with this design. Just because we pushed hard.
I say that's not long.
No,
No,
it's
it's
not.
not at
a quick
all.
turnaround.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It is. I mean, it only took us 11 months to come to market. So from, yes, we're doing this,
To-
11 months later, we're on the
That's
shelf.
amazing.
You got up
Yeah.
off, you got up
It
off
really
that
is.
couch quickly.
I did.
Yeah.
I really
That
did.
is
And we
crazy.
had some pitfalls. So the government changed, so the president and a lot of tariffs came down with Mexico. So that actually put us behind. If everything had worked out, we would have been on the shelves in 9 months.
Oh, wow.
That's fast.
Yeah.
I know some tequila brands because I've done the influencing. This one gentleman, it took him 6 years to get his tequila out.
Wow.
And, we did it small batch. It wasn't like we ordered thousands upon thousands of cases. We wanted to prove concept first.
Right.
Yeah.
You want to see what people think about it because it is what's in the bottle that people talk about. The bottle itself might get a sale, but it's what's in the bottle that'll
So-
get
Right,
a recurring.
right.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
see what's in that bottle.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Which one do we want to try first? So we have 3
you pick.
expressions.
Yeah.
Where should we start?
I'm going to say with the flagship, the world's only coconut lime
Yes.
blanco
Yes.
tequila.
Yes.
This is made with all natural flavorings from the meat of the coconut and the lime, nothing artificial, no syrups, no sweeteners, anything at
wow.
all. So it's just 100% Blue Weber agave, and then we use
Rocky,
a
that's
flavoring.
got your name all over it. No, Rocky.
There's a healthy one.
I'm so mad at myself for not having you put the lime in the coconut for this. Had I only known.
Lime in the
Sit
song.
down.
You put the.
You don't
Nah,
know that?
You don't.
What song?
Here,
Lime in the
here,
coconut.
pass that down.
Is
Pass it
that
all
a
over-
Jimmy
That's
Buffett
Denora.
song?
No, it's the Muppets.
Oh my gosh! She's like, what is that?
Come on.
Oh
I
my
don't listen to the
God.
Muppets.
So we'll just do some
scared
babies,
right
but
now.
All right,
you know,
some babies.
so what's
Cheers.
funny about with
Cheers.
that? Wanna do-
Clank, clank.
Here we go.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay.
The worst that can happen.
Okay.
Cheers.
Down the
That-
hatch.
Here we go.
Wait, are you supposed to drink
Down
it
the
like a
hatch.
shot?
Yeah.
So you
No, this
you,
is a premium. You
It's
sip
a
on
premium
this, right?
tequila. You can sip it
See,
if you
it's-
want
I
to
got
shoot
a
it.
little bit-
She
it's
just
good.
wants to get to the next
I
one.
know.
That's
That's
okay.
it's really good.
So let's
Oh my
do.
God, it smells
Isn't it?
awesome.
So
Rocky,
the
you gotta
correct
try this.
way to drink a tequila is not
Woo-hoo.
shooting it.
Yeah.
It truly isn't.
But how many of us, let's be honest, how many of us have
Wow.
gone to the bar, had a shot?
Yeah, I was
had
just
a
gonna say,
lime,
why
had
do
some
they do
salt,
that?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh
Yeah.
man, yeah.
And you
Right?
Yeah.
Is that not? I mean, that's
That's the stereotype.
That's
yeah.
a stereotype.
And-
Little
and
lime, little
Man,
salt,
this
little
That's
lemon.
what you do with bad
Right.
tequila.
Thank you.
That's what you do with bad
exactly it.
And I understand
Yeah.
that, but
Yeah.
I'm saying
It's
that
You're
we're
right.
changing.
I'm
We need
so-
to change how people think or people's experiences. I was
Yeah.
Oh
in
my
college,
gosh.
so I know
so good.
that's how
That
tequila.
is good.
It
how
is.
people drink tequila in college.
It is. It's the stereotype. It
Right.
just falls into the stereotype. But a good tequila, like a premium tequila or a super premium tequila, you sip. And typically what you do is to get all of it in is you take a little sip and just kind of let it rest in your palate. And then you sip from there. So
okay.
you let it opens your taste buds up. And then you can really get the flavor. So a lot of the times on your second sip or third sip, you get even more. So it becomes more
See, I'm
palatable.
doing it right.
Yeah.
This is really good.
Thank
It's
you.
really good.
Oh my God, you taste the coconut, and I
You
love
do.
coconut.
And it's not an artificial sweet.
And I'm not a coconut fan at all.
Yeah.
No, did you
It's
like
good.
this?
It's
This is
good,
really
isn't
it?
good.
Yeah.
Like the whole Malibu, like anything, like I'm
Yeah.
usually, nope, I'm out.
Oh,
This is-
I love
Oh.
it.
And I'm not a drinker.
I'm with
and
you.
this
Yeah,
is really
I'm
good.
with you.
I'm like,
Absolutely.
I know.
Because some of them are so sugary and so artificial.
Yeah.
that's what it is.
You're-
Because
you're-
I never liked tequila. It's like,
Aren't most of them made with corn syrup? Most tequilas.
So no, so tequila comes from the blue Weber agave. So tequila is actually one of the most regulated spirits in the world. It's kind of like champagne or cognac has to come from a particular region. So tequila actually has to come from Jalisco, and it is trademarked by the Mexican government, the word tequila. So there's a lot of nuances that we didn't know
Yeah.
that we had to go in, and you learn on the job sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, it was. I didn't know that we picked the hardest spirit, to produce in the
Ever.
world.
Wow.
Yeah.
But isn't it interesting? The things you don't know, you go in blindly. Because had you known everything,
You probably wouldn't have done it.
Right.
You probably wouldn't have done
I agree.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
100%.
ignorance
Yeah.
sometimes is bliss.
Yeah. So many different things, but you don't know what you don't know. So
Right.
going in, it was, well, let's just figure it out. We're smart people. And I always used to tell my friends, we'd sit in the back, and just have a bonfire before any of this started. And I said, we're way too smart and ambitious to work for somebody else the rest of our life.
Yeah.
Why? And it's unfortunate because I'm one of those friends. I'm the only one that has done this, you know?
Wow.
Because basically we get trapped by a job.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
You do.
Right.
you start buying shit.
do. Yeah,
and then you have to
exactly.
work more
To
Right.
pay for
afford-
the shit.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really bad. I just call it
Right.
the trap.
Well,
Yeah.
the truth is, there's no job security. So
Not
I
at
don't,
all.
I don't know why
Not at
we
all.
think
There's
that's
a
more
false
I
sense
know.
secure. Yeah.
Yeah.
False
Exactly.
sense of security.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It is a very false sense,
Yeah.
but the security is the money that makes us feel good. So on the weekend, we become weekend warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We buy stuff that we don't really
right.
need.
Yep.
Right.
And that was one of the things when I left corporate America, I purged. I went through shit that I didn't need anymore. Like, why do I even have this?
Yeah.
I haven't even broke it out in like 15 years. I don't need this.
Right. Right.
And then I just started selling stuff. And, it wasn't too, it ended up supplementing a little bit of income, of course.
Sure.
But, I have not had a paycheck in over 2 years.
Wow.
I still have a decent amount in my bank account because I set myself up for this.
Yeah.
And you have to plan for it. You have to understand that there's going to be a lot of things that you can't plan for, but as much as you can, like just to be prepared.
Yeah.
So that way anything. So when we were doing the tequila, we found out, wow, knock on the door. We have tariffs now that we never
Yeah.
had before
Yeah.
when we
Wow.
started this. And they weren't little. They were in the
Yeah.
thousands. But my wife actually had a cushion so we could take care of them.
Okay.
So she's a financial planner. She did an amazing
That
job.
helps.
I was
Yes.
going to say, yeah.
MBA in business. She's bilingual, so she can
Wow.
speak Spanish fluently.
Gosh.
So yeah, so this was all meant to be.
I was,
you
yeah,
know?
everything.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something because I listened to an interview that you did on the Get Up podcast.
Get up. Okay. Yep.
Which was a great interview. And it was a 2-hour interview.
It was.
I was only going to listen to like 20 minutes because I already did enough research, so I knew the angle we were
But she
going to
couldn't
go on.
stop
Yeah.
I
listening.
could not. I listened to
Yeah.
the whole 2
Lot.
hours because it
Yeah.
was so good. It was just you had such a wealth of knowledge. But
Thank
one
you.
of the things that you talked about was the universe always sends us signs.
Absolutely.
And then you talked about, it's normal to have obstacles when you're an entrepreneur. You're going to have setbacks. That's normal. But one of the things that, I find that so many of us struggle with is when you do get to the crossroads and you do have the obstacle, how do you know that isn't the sign from the universe that you should pivot and try something different?
That's a good question.
So I trust my instinct a lot more, specifically from that time seeing the hummingbird when I asked for a sign. That was saying that the universe is going to take over, and it put me at ease. So we still have a ton of obstacles, but the way that I look at them now is quite differently. And the richest people, and I don't do this for money. I do this because I want to create a legacy. I want something that I can be proud of that I do forever. So when I look at these obstacles now, it's like the richest people in the world, the most successful, are typically problem solvers. So they solve a problem, like a laptop, a bell, a fortune cookie, I guess, was a problem. We needed a fortune cookie,
Yeah.
So that's the way that I look at it is, if it's not meant to be, I can't problem solve. I cannot solve this problem. And now the way that we look at it is we can always solve a problem. There's always a way to actually, if there's something, an obstacle, how do I get over it? If I figure out I just can't get over it, then it's time to give up. And so I haven't yet found a way not to get over something.
Well, we're happy that you haven't.
Let me ask you this. What is the problem that Teak is going to solve?
So I think the biggest problem we're going to solve as a company is the perception of tequila. And that, it's a party drink, know.
It's going to change the mind.
Right. It's just something that, we've been on TV a couple of times and we've talked about it. It's a healthier spirit. It's gluten-free. It's keto-friendly, low in sugar, low in
Didn't
carbs.
know any of that.
You know what? A friend of mine, Joe O'Brien, if he's listening, was over the other day, and I was telling him you were going to be on the show and what this was about. And he said that tequila is the only alcoholic drink that is a non-depressant.
Correct.
Is that true?
It's an upper. So that's why it's viewed as a party drug. But it's an upper.
But it's keto friendly, so
100%.
Rocky wants a little more now.
So the thing about that is it's an upper. It brings you into a better mood. And so I think that's where the stereotype kind of comes in, that people feel good. They're out on the dance floor. You don't feel all the aches and the pains,
Yeah.
You're just drinking and drinking and drinking. But the next day, because you overindulged, you get sick. And people typically blame it on tequila, but
I've gotten sick off of wine.
Right.
I've gotten sick off of vodka.
right. But the other thing about it is mixing. So if you mix, let's say you have 3 shitty margaritas, and then you have a shot of tequila, and then the next day you're like, oh, tequila. Well, no, it's because you had a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
Your body will not process sugar. It'll make you, sluggish and stuff. So, it's a probiotic. It's a prebiotic. It helps with digestion. Like, there's so many different things that comes from a plant.
Did not
This is
know
your new
that.
medicine.
Right. I was just gonna say.
Just rub a little tequila on it.
It's the holiday season, so let's talk about, from your website, the pumpkin spice margarita.
Yes.
So the pumpkins. So I like, that's the other thing too, is I like really challenging. Let's do something different. And so sitting at home, it was actually strategic. So it does a lot of these things that we do. They're strategic marketing. And so pumpkin spice margarita, pumpkins, Halloween, no brainer, right? But also Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So
I have the recipe here.
it's really good.
Can I read it?
Yes.
All right, here we go. So what are you pouring first? Tell us before I start reading this. Which tequila are we now going?
We're going to try a little bit of what we've been told the smoothest Blanco tequila that anybody has tried. And I've gotten this a lot, but I'd like your opinion.
Okay.
All right, so the pumpkin spice margarita starts with your Reposado tequila. Reposado, thank you. Don't speak Spanish.
I just got to say real quick, Mark from Local Screams just said, I'm going to start drinking tequila.
More.
Orange liqueur,
Yes.
Ooh.
fresh lime juice, a simple syrup, pumpkin puree,
Wow.
Oh, wow.
pumpkin spice,
Yes.
And then you rim the margarita glass with cinnamon sugar.
Oh,
Shake it all together. Strain it over ice. And
Wow.
enjoy.
Look at her. She's
Easy.
drooling.
I know. She
She's
really is.
You can find that on
It's easy.
the website,
Yes.
which is teakspirits.com.
Correct. We have a lot of others, very simple recipes
You
to make
do.
at home because
Purple shooter.
the purple shooter is really good. And here's the thing with that is we actually do a lot of things with this a Detroit company called Salt Flow, and they make artesian flavored sea salts.
Oh, wow.
And they're they're doing some incredible things. I won't give it away, but we're doing something on TV with them very soon.
Oh, cool.
But the purple shooter, because it's sweet, and then you do a salty rim. We did I think it was a blueberry or a dragon fruit flavored sea salt.
Oh, wow.
It was amazing. It was so
Wow.
good.
With
the sweet and the
coconut,
salty.
with the coconut lime tequila.
It
Yeah.
was so good.
That sounds good. A lot of good ones.
They're just easy to make at home because I'm not a mixologist. I'm an intoxicologist.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm an intoxicologist.
A
but
Mary for your Catholic population.
there you go.
I'm very.
That's funny.
Hail Mary. Hail Mary. I don't know.
Yeah.
Does he have anything for Baptists?
Pineapple margarita. I don't know.
I wanted to ask you a question because Shark Tank is so popular.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, there's a shark one. Hold on. I
It
saw
is.
that.
The
Wait.
Great Lake Shark.
Great Lake Shark. Yes.
Have you
I may have studied these.
have you
I'm
wanted?
just saying.
Are you looking at doing this? Going on there?
So-
have you had any?
I'm a big fan of the show.
Uh-huh.
I really am. I love the show because it talks business.
Yeah.
One of the things about it is they want to take way too much equity.
I was just.
And so I literally get this all the time. And, there's one time I think I broke it down. I don't want somebody to take a lot of the house that I built.
Right.
Because I feel organically we can. So we actually are bringing on some investors right now, too.
Okay.
So we have opened that. Like 25% of our company we opened up on the down low. But I guess it's not on the down low.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
We're not going to tell.
Perfect.
Secret
between
safe.
us.
Just between us.
Perfect. So and
I have
and the
$5
thousands.
to invest. I don't know if that will give me anywhere, but
It won't even get you this much.
I have
Premium.
I have a small used cup.
that you are more than welcome.
I have a
to.
ticket to the Willis show tomorrow for
Right.
$5.
That might do it, actually. So, and I'm a big fan of The Prophet with Marcus
Yeah, I love
Lemonis.
that
I
show.
love Marcus. I've actually reached out to him too. So I would agree to do something with someone that could take us further. But there's got to be a give as well as a take.
Right,
and I
yeah.
think I'm more inclined like the Marcus Lemonis because he can ultimately get you into a lot of different, markets and sectors than we would even think. But we have opened it up. We actually brought on some investors already. And we are in negotiations with quite a few more.
Yeah.
And no, it's not the dollars, the we funders or the crowd funders. The initial is thousands. So because looking at our valuation of what we see within the next 5 years, especially with the tequila market, and we have the world's only coconut lime, and we're about to expand to some other
It's
markets.
delicious.
So thank you.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of stuff
really
going on
good.
with our company, and our growth in 1 year. Sitting back and thinking about it is, and I really don't sit and think about it, but
Yeah.
you have to take moments to applaud yourself.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yes, you do.
And
Yeah.
I've
The
taken,
growth is crazy.
it really is. I mean, but we're going, and this is for all the entrepreneurs out there. Is I've heard it all. Like he's crazy from walking away from his job where he made high six figures. Nobody's gonna buy a coconut lime tequila. Where are you making your tequila in your bathtub? Like all these different things. Like
Yeah.
I've heard it all.
Wow.
And you have to be resilient.
Right.
That's it. So I've been very resilient. I have a great structural team, and we're building the team.
That's
So
great.
we're working with some fantastic people.
And you have a good woman by your side.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
that is a key that
Yeah, it
a lot
is.
of people.
Honestly, I
Right.
don't know too many. I was talking to my husband about it. I don't know too many wives that would have said to their husband,
Leave
Yeah.
your six-figure.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, hell no.
Because what we would have said is, you can do this little tequila thing, but you better keep that as a side hustle. You keep
Yeah.
that 6 figure.
Yeah, I was
Right.
I was unhappy, and so I'm a big fan of podcasts. Jay Shetty is a big one. Breakfast Club. I was watching the Breakfast Club, and Dr. Boyce Watkins was on, an economist, and he was talking to Charlemagne the God, and this is where it really resonated. Is Dr. Boyce said, when you get fed up and you're so unhappy that you can walk into your boss's office because you have that FU money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is FU money? And he goes, and Charlemagne asked him, what's FU money?
That's what I'm missing. It's
Right.
not my wall.
And so my wife, she put together the numbers, and we figured out I had FU money.
Wow.
And so we looked at it from a broad angle, and I still, dove in trying to figure out, is this what we want to do?
Right.
Can
Yeah.
we do this?
Yeah.
And I just kept seeing more things and hearing more things, and then I really was able to take apart, like a puzzle, my unhappiness. Where did it come from? And so I would sit in an office, in the corner of the building, looking out at the window, and I just thought the world was passing me by. What am I leaving? Where's my mark? What impact am I giving to this world? And that wasn't meant to be. So the hummingbird is an animal, a creature that isn't supposed to be caged ever. So if you read about it, you don't really see hummingbirds in a cage.
No.
Parakeets, just
Yeah.
so in folklore they'll die if they're caged, because the life essence will
The constant movement.
Yeah.
So I felt, being in an office, I was literally dying slowly. And if you're not growing, you are dying.
Right.
So I
Right.
teach my daughter that with a tree. If the tree stops growing, what happens? Well, it's dying.
How's your daughter?
Yeah.
She is 11 now.
Oh,
Okay.
So we talked to her about business because we want
That's
her to
great.
understand the fundamentals.
Yeah.
And like one of my proudest moments, and I don't know if everybody else will agree with this, but one of my proudest moments, we were talking about college, and she goes, at 11, I don't know if I'm going to college.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, really? Why not? And she goes, because I think I want to be an entrepreneur.
Wow.
And I want to write books.
Really?
I didn't do the happy dance in the room.
Right.
But when I left the room, I'm like, father of the year, and I'm a bonus father. So I'm a stepfather, but we call it bonus father.
Bonus father, I like that.
Yeah, I'm a bonus dad. So it made me feel good because she is not falling into that trap
Right.
of society that, a lot
have
of
to go
parents,
to co-
you got to go to
Yeah.
college to get a
Yeah.
good job.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
And then you
get
get
the
out,
debt,
can't get a
and get
job.
the debt so
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you can't pay it off
Yeah.
ever.
Right.
Yes,
Forever
right.
and
And you're in that
everybody
corner,
else.
and you're in that corner office
Right.
looking out the window.
right. Well, and to that point,
Yeah.
here's what's really crazy about it is I don't have a college degree. I went for maybe a half a semester.
Either does
like
Gary V.
No.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Were you like, this is
does
not for
Rocky
me?
Wallace.
Yeah. Was it like as soon as you're in there and you're like, nope, this yeah.
Yeah, it just
Not for
wasn't
me.
for me. I didn't
Yep.
know what I want to do. How do
Yeah.
you know at 19 what
Right,
you want to do for the
exactly.
rest of your
Right.
life?
I did the
Right.
same thing. I was
Yeah.
like, a semester. I was like, no.
Yeah,
not for me.
I had so many, at one point, where I was, I had 800 people reporting to me.
Wow.
And the majority of them had degrees. Some of them had MBAs. And I'm thinking, you're making like 45 grand a year. I'm
Yeah.
making this. I don't have
Yeah.
a degree. But it just proves that sometimes you
Yeah.
don't have to.
Right,
It's
right.
about
Right.
what you learn and what you know and how you present yourself.
Right.
So, for me, you would never know that I don't have a degree.
Right.
You would never know that Gary V doesn't.
Right.
I mean, look at Richard
Except for he
Branson.
brags about it.
Yeah, he does. Richard Branson dropped out of high school.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a great story, too.
Yeah.
Well, this is really
yeah,
say,
Thank
and
you.
tell us
by
which one
the
this
way.
is.
So
That's
that is
the
my
Blanco.
Blanco. So that's
Yes.
just the purest
The
form.
Blanco.
It's not aged. It's distilled, and then within 2 months, it comes out of the still and goes right into the
Now
bottle.
that's got a kick.
It's going to have a little bit more pepper. Yep. So it does have a little finish that most tequilas have, but this
Is
if
it,
you-
because
Rocky.
it's not tempered by the
correct.
not
Correct.
tempered by the coconut.
falling out of her
She's
Correct.
chair.
gonna start
Correct.
dancing on the table.
Yeah.
She's not a good drinker.
You've had
I
maybe
a sip.
half a shot.
You didn't
Right.
even have a shot.
Yeah, you really did.
I don't need
no,
much.
no.
I don't need much.
We got one more.
Oh my God. Okay. Bring it on. I'm not.
Yeah. I like it.
I want to ask you about Curious Inception.
Yes. So
Yes.
Oh,
curious.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So how did that start? Was that after you started
Yes.
Cheek?
So actually, we started Teak, and then there was a good 6 months window where everything was just happening behind the scenes. So what we really wanted to do was further individuals to not be trapped by corporate. So a lot of people don't know where to start.
Right.
So we wanted to create a startup consulting company, meaning
I love that.
this
Me
is
too.
where you begin, because most of the time in the startup phase, we talk ourselves out of it.
Right.
Is I don't have enough money.
Yep.
Okay, well, how can we solve that problem? See, we're going back to the problem solving.
Right.
Is okay, I don't know how to market on social media. Well, I can teach you that. That's not a problem. I don't know how to file an LLC or an S corp, or what's the difference? Well, that's just a problem that we can solve. So all of these little things, they become, sort of like a webinar. And we've had people reach out to us like, how can we start? This is my idea. But I'll also be very raw and honest with them. Like, I don't like your idea.
Really?
Or, you have a good idea, but here's what's going to have to go into it. Are you going to do a
To make it
patent?
work,
A
yeah.
patent, so it's like if you're creating a product, maybe the best way is to just create the product, get the patent, and then license it out. And then you can make your money off the licenses. So just trying to get people to think in more of a broad scope of business and understand what you're going to, understand what to expect your first couple months, your first year. You're probably not going to make any money,
Right.
But people see
Right.
these YouTube stars or their
Right.
Instagram stars.
Right.
And they're like, hey, there's
Yeah.
the money.
That's an anomaly.
But I like
Yeah.
that you're doing that, because you could have just, quit your job and started your business and said, hey, I started you do it. But
Yeah.
but
You
now you
figure it
open
out.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're helping
It helps
other
to
people.
change the world.
It does. It does because with that being said, is being able to impact one person personally who can pay it forward. That's truly what it's about. Is
Yeah.
creating a legacy.
Yeah.
So that's my legacy, and who knows
Yeah.
where it's going to go?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
I have to tell you, I love the packaging. I love
love
the
it.
product. I love everything about it. But my favorite part is the create your legacy, because
Yeah.
I was thinking, we go to like book signings or CD release parties, grand openings, and I always like to take a bottle of wine. But I think that's a perfect gift to give somebody when they're taking that leap of faith and
Yeah,
starting
absolutely.
something out. Is here, create your legacy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or you're
I-
creating
Wow.
it.
I have a friend who is a realtor, and when they buy a house, he will give a bottle.
Yeah.
So and yeah, the create your legacy, it was just, that was very important for me to have that, to get that out there, to challenge people that you don't have to do whatever you're doing. You can do so much more. And now I'm in that mindset, why wouldn't you want
Want to do
Right.
it.
Did
Yeah.
Did we point the back of the bottles out, because that's where it is? Yes.
Yeah.
Did we point that out?
Yep.
And it has the story of the hummingbird. Yeah.
Yep, it has a partial,
cool.
a part of the story of the hummingbird. And the other thing about it is, like, I don't know, is it on that one? No. So on this one, we changed distributors because we're very proud of being Michigan-based, one of very few. But now our importer, if you look at this one, imported by Teak Spirits, Canton, Michigan.
Oh.
So we're our own importer now
Oh,
as well.
wow.
So,
Wow.
Yeah.
so it's, that
Yeah.
way we never have to change anything, per bottle. So it's always there. And one of the other long-term goals, because you always want to think long-term, is bring other spirits from other countries here to America. So that's something that we started to work on. There was a gin from Switzerland that we were working on bringing them. So it kind of fizzled out because cold months, but springtime we'll start back up with that again.
Okay.
And it's a
Wow.
fantastic gin. It's really good.
We'll have you back when that
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
comes to fruition.
Do a tasting.
Exactly.
Gin
Well, if we
gin
have
makes
to-
you sin, so I can have the gin.
There's that stereotype.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with the gin. All right.
Right.
There's just
We have
something
one more
going
to
on with
try.
you.
Four for four. Do we have
Yeah.
time?
Yes.
Are we
you
time
know
for
what?
that?
Let's go.
Unfortunately, yeah,
We're gonna run
out
out
of
of time.
time.
Gosh.
It's not fair.
Okay.
No time for 4 for 4.
Don,
Next
we have
time.
to have you back.
He
Thank
said
you.
go ahead.
He
He said we
can
can
do
go
the
ahead.
4 for 4.
Okay.
Quick
I'm
four
going
for
first.
four.
Okay, you go first.
Okay, so if someone was to make a movie of your life, who would you cast to play you?
The Rock.
The Rock.
Good choice.
Yeah, that's a
Very
good
good
choice.
choice.
That's a good
really
choice.
good
It
choice.
is.
All right. Is there an educator that was influential?
Educator as far as school curriculum,
You
or
pick
just
someone that an educator can be school, can be someone that taught you something.
I would honestly say reading Richard Branson's book, Losing My Virginity, was definitely a teaching moment because I learned what he went through. People think it's all glitz and glamour.
Right.
He almost was bankrupt multiple times. He had to sell shit off just to make his company work. And his airline started because of a fluke.
I love his airline.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Fluke. So I would say I learned a lot from Richard Branson's book.
Okay.
Okay. Your mantra is change your mind, change your world, create your legacy. So what advice would you give to somebody who wants to start that process?
Be open. There's going to be a lot of people that right off the bat, you're going to be discouraged.
Yeah.
So because people don't believe in their own dreams, so
Right.
how are they going to believe in yours?
Right.
And so keep it close to you. Don't tell everybody.
Okay, that was going to
Yeah.
ask you that. Is that something that you don't share with people?
So at first, I'm very open now. I'm extremely open. You ask me a question, you're going to get an answer.
Well,
you might
you're in
like it.
350 stores.
Yeah. you might like it. You might
Yeah.
not like the answer. But I'm completely transparent. But at the beginning, I think had I not told everybody, because when we didn't come out with the tequila right away, it was he's on some bullshit. It's not happening. But
Right.
then when it came out, like we sold out in our first store in hours. Wow. Because people were like, "Oh wow, he really did it."
Then you had 42 best friends.
It was a busy day that day. And then it just kind of went from there. But keep it close because there's going to be a lot of people that are very negative, and they can talk you out of your own dreams.
They can.
Right.
Yeah.
And it happens all the time.
You need some selective hearing.
Okay. Would you rather have one dream come true or give that chance to your significant other?
Oh, my significant other.
Yeah.
'Cause she
Wow.
made my
I already
dream.
knew it
Yeah.
before I even
That actually gave me
started.
chills because, she
Yeah.
she made my dream come true.
Yeah.
So now everything I do is for her to be able to live the life
that's
that
so
she
sweet.
deserves. So
Yes.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
All right, Rocky.
Cheers to that.
Cookies.
Oh, yeah.
Explain.
All right, so we got
how
our
you do it.
fortune cookies, and
This is how we make all our business decisions
yeah, this
here.
is basically.
probably better than most.
So we take. I don't want that Christian one.
Yeah.
So we toss our cookies, and whatever
Oh.
way the prongs face, that means that fortune was meant for you.
Okay.
And let's end it. When we read it, let's
Teak
put teak tequila at the
Yeah,
end.
tequila.
Yep.
Okay,
Okay,
this one
that's
is
Yep.
yours.
Thank
No,
you.
that's more mine,
I was
isn't
gonna
it?
say
That one's
definitely
yours.
This one's Gina's.
This one's mine.
Thank you.
This one's Dave's. Pass that one over to you.
Dave's like, I don't need to make any decisions today.
gonna add
Leave me
you-
alone.
There we go.
All right, so go ahead, Gina. You want to start?
All right. Yes. Here we go.
Now, wait, what are we ending it with?
Teak tequila.
Okay.
Teak tequila.
Teak tequila.
Tequila.
Oh, yeah. I think
Ooh,
this is
your determination will bring you much success with teak tequila.
Oh, la-di-da.
So what bottle are you buying?
Right.
Oh gosh, mine is you will travel to exotic places on your next trip with teak tequila.
Yeah,
Sounds
that's
like
I
that's
like
gonna be a
that.
fun trip.
Can I come?
No,
No.
Can I come?
You will.
You
I'll
can.
bring the tequila.
You will make a sudden rise in life with tequila.
Ooh.
Because I'm going to be drunk.
Your little Baptist.
It is an
way.
upper.
Yeah.
Dave.
Good news will be brought to you by mail with
Ooh.
tequila.
Oh,
Yeah.
So if you guys deliver, I'm all in.
Wait. Before we go on, do you guys sell online? Can you
Yes.
sell
Do you?
alcohol online?
That is coming in January.
So Dave, you're going to be
right.
fine. In
Yeah.
January, you're
Right.
good.
So this is very true. So this is actually very interesting. You will soon receive an offer you cannot refuse.
Oh.
We'll say 4 teak tequila.
Oh, very good. And
Okay.
we should introduce
Yes.
real quick
Yes.
before
Aisha
Aisha.
Yes,
Yes.
Aisha
from
Mitchell.
founder of I Am Publishing and Branding.
Yes. So my fortune says your troubles will cease and fortune will smile upon you. Teak tequila.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to
Yeah.
happen after you get that offer. That
Yeah.
see, that's how it's going to work.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
full circle.
and it all happened here on the Nooner Show.
There we
There we
go.
go.
And Rocky?
And mine says, bide your time for success is near with
Teak
Teak
tequila. Yeah. That's good, Rock.
You're available on social media platforms,
Yes.
Facebook and teakspirits.com.
Correct.
Any
Yes.
other social media?
Nope, just at Teak Tequila. And if you Google us, Teak Tequila, TEEQ, a lot of stuff will come up.
Oh.
It'll make it easy for you.
These holiday recipes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And where people can get it, right?
Absolutely.
Is that listed?
Yep. Yeah, and
Okay.
we have you know what? I'll just make an announcement right now. So this is going to be a big announcement.
Ooh, we're
Our
listening.
new website will be up and running on Friday. And it'll have a store locator, so you just put in your zip code, and it'll find a
that's
store for
nice.
you.
Awesome.
Yes.
That's great.
Growth.
Lead you
We
right to
have,
it.
we have one more to try before we go.
We do. So we have a
Gina.
reposado.
I'm not forgetting.
Yeah.
Gina's like, he's already
These
got
are
them poured.
babies. So everybody drinking at home along, these are babies.
Yeah.
So this is our reposado. It's aged 8 months in second-generation Tennessee whiskey barrels. Most tequilas are aged in white American oak. We get more of a flavor profile, a depth of like caramels and vanillas, and it finishes almost like a whiskey.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, we'll pass these
Okay,
around.
if my husband's listening, he's going to be like, you better be bringing one of each home.
Yeah.
La-di-da.
And what about Curious Inception? How can people get a hold of you? Just go to that website or?
Yep. So we do have a website for Curious Inception. A lot of people just contact us via Facebook. If you go on Facebook and
go
message
ahead.
us via Curious Inception, real easy to get to. So
Okay. And who can, like, what do they need to come to you
you
for
know,
consulting?
so we like to take a half hour with somebody and just come with an idea.
Okay.
Like so two things: idea and be serious.
Okay.
That's it.
And how,
Good.
when you walked into stores, how long was your pitch?
Oh man. How much did I shake and squirm because I didn't know what I was doing? Now it's down to a science.
Is it?
So I can tell if a store is going to bring us on just by looking at their selection. So there's been many times where I'll walk in and walk out.
And you
I
know,
that
because
sounds
you
terrible.
know.
Yeah, I already
No,
can
because,
tell.
I mean, that saves time. You know.
Yeah, I don't want to waste their time or
Right,
mine.
exactly.
Right.
So
right.
my pitch is roughly about 1.5 to 3 minutes.
Okay.
And you should, if they want to taste and then open up, the tasting makes the difference because we do have a premium product.
Yeah.
And, our sales in the first year has kind of shown that. And so we proved the concept. And what I'm most proud about is we proved a lot of people wrong.
Yeah.
Not that I'm rubbing,
Congratulations.
Yes.
Yeah.
mine proved
We're
them
glad you
Cheers
did.
to tea.
Salute.
Cheers.
Salute.
Salute.
Yes, salute.
Thanks for joining us
Thank
today.
you so much for
you so
having me. This was
much.
fun.
We'll see you in the spring.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we definitely have to have
Nay, yep.
Anna.
Oh, man. If I
Yeah.
bring my partner, Ro, that'll be a fun show.
Yeah. Oh, that would
Yeah.
be nice too.
He's
Yeah.
a little sarcastic and dry.
That's gonna be
Oh, wow.
right
That'd be
in.
great.
Yeah, he
Right.
will. It'll be a good time.
All right, so we're gonna close the show.
All right. Thank you guys so much for listening to The Nooner Show. We appreciate your support. We hope you get inspired to take a leap of faith. Don't forget to subscribe to The Nooner Show wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram at The Nooner Show. Our show today is sponsored by The Parlor in Hadley, Michigan, a music-themed pizzeria where pizza rocks. Also, check out Happy Days Records and More, a new music store, clothing store, and so much more, located at 1801 West Genesee Street in Lapeer, Michigan. And from the makers of Dope Water, if you can be anything, why not be dope?
And remember, sometimes the only mode of transportation available.
Is a leap of faith. Thanks for taking a leap of faith. And
Thank you.
tequila.
Thank you.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
Happier now.
Yeah, much happier.
It is. Yeah, thank you so much,
Thank
Don,
you.
for taking
Absolutely.
the
I appreciate
time.
it. Thank you
Nice
so much.
to meet you.
Yeah, and
Thank you.
congratulations on your
Yeah.
success.
Thank you. It's just always about growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you sell it in Royal Oak here. at the
Yep, we're
Royal
in
Oak
Holiday Market.
Oh, Holiday Market.
Yep,
Okay.
we're in Holiday Market on Main Street. So
Okay.
that's
All right.
they're a big
Right.
supporter.
We'll be
Okay.
heading over there.
I know.
Yeah, because she can't go home without it.
Well, and Rocky's going to be like, I want that product with the probiotic.
That was
really
your seller.
healthy. Yeah, I know.
That was the seller.
And keto friendly.
I'm listening.
Keto and probiotic.
Keto friendly.
Probiotic.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
Do we have center of gravity to close? goes with. Okay,
Let's
great.
go.
So
Otherwise, I was going to sing it.
Oh, thank
yeah,
you. Tina.
yeah.
You're
So
always just
no, thank
I'm
God
saving
up
he
for
has
me.
it
I know.
loaded.
Center of gravity.
And happy birthday tomorrow, Rocky.
Happy
Exciting.
birthday.
We're excited about the
At
Willis
the Willis.
show.
Yes.
Yes.
Fun.
Does Willis carry teak?
Nope, the Willis Show Bar does not carry.
Okay,
so
so
Willis
we
Show
have to
Bar
have
carry
100
teak.
people
So you have a
tomorrow.
day to make that happen.
Yeah.
Because we're all going to ask for it tomorrow. Let's do that. Let's get
Right, you
everybody there
should.
going,
Do you have teak tequila?
wait,
There
oh,
we
you don't
go.
have
You don't
teak?
have it?
I'll just have
ice
water.
water.
I'll just have, oh, wait, you don't have dope water. I'll just have
Okay,
ice.
yeah.
Here, I brought my own glass.
That's what flasks are for.
Right.
Say it.
Right,
Okay,
right.
and
All right.
congratulations to you.
Happy
Everything that's going on. Yeah,
birthday
you and
tomorrow at the
Frankie,
Willis.
And we get to hear Center of Gravity live tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. So
I'm
we're going to
so
close the show and
excited.
happy hump day.
And I just can't.